And before we kind of get into where you see media going, I think that's really interesting because we live in a time now, and I think one of the biggest complaints, especially for the younger generation, is nobody's loyal, right? They're moving and bouncing. And I think actually at the core of that, what a lot of that younger generation want is what you tapped into is a new challenge and pushing yourself and going, okay, I've accomplished this. And not necessarily that they're too good for that position,
Right.
but everybody I think is looking to better themselves and grow. And I think that's really interesting that that's exactly what you're talking about, is taking those risks and trying. And it's not that you weren't loyal or doing those things like
No,
that.
sure.
It was self-push and saying, all right, I'm going to try to tackle this new challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes you have to be willing to maybe even accept what might be perceived as a lateral move, or even maybe a half a step backwards
Yeah.
to help round out your professional experience,
Yeah.
and also I think to kind of develop personally as well.
Yeah.
It's not always a linear path that gets you to the next big thing.
Yeah, you don't just stay on this one path. And I was having this conversation with a company recently. Is they were, well, we hire these young people, and then I asked them, well, what do you want to do? And they don't know what they want to do. And I'm like, that's the wrong question. You should ask them, what skills do you want to develop?
Exactly.
How do you want to become better as a person? Because you may not know exactly what 20 years from now looks like,
Right.
but you know the type of skills that you want, and saying, hey, I need to develop this, or I need to develop that.
Absolutely.
To kind of grow into that.
And you want to put yourself in an environment that has a real that places a premium on just continuing your learning.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of organizations when they contemplate how to motivate their workforce. I think key component is making sure that people feel like they have an opportunity to continue to develop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I read in a book, and I thought it was great. There's big T and there's little t transformations. Big T are promotions. I mean, people love promotions, but if you can't constantly give promotions, then how do you focus on the little T's, which is transforming the people as an individual and making them on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis? How am I making you a better person?
Right.
That kind of satisfies that inner need to feel that growth, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.